welcome to the show. It's Wrestling with Entertainment, the only audio experience on the web today. The trusted choice for interviewing all your favorite wrestlers every Tuesday and Wednesday, and previewing and reviewing the latest shows from WWE, AEW, New Japan, and everything in between every Saturday on YouTube and Castbox, sponsored by Rogue Energy and Player One Coffee. I am, of course, your host, James J., alongside Kaliko Yas.
Hey man, fall is in the air. Cali, it was hot as hell. Jesus Christ, I don't know what the fuck we were doing. Like, fuck.
These last 2 days have been, somewhat nice, so I'm not complaining, but, yeah, the last week was fucking brutal.
Fucking hot and her.
Oh, yeah, very true. It was a eventful week for Wrestling With, as this last Tuesday we interviewed founder Jackson, the owner of Dropkicks Wrestling, and that last Wednesday we interviewed Nico Klein, who is a Black and Brave alumni, under Maverick Brave, Seth Rollins. Two great interviews, two interesting and unique interviews, some really good stories. Cannot recommend them enough. Definitely go into the archives to check them out. Alright, and this upcoming Tuesday, we have Arthur Aro, our first ever interview from Estonia. For anybody that doesn't know, the first ever recognized pro wrestling champion, George Hackenschmidt, came from Estonia. And now, 120 years later, Arthur Ado. They produce one wrestler per year. One wrestler every 100 years. We talk about that, having to travel to Finland to compete and train pro wrestling, his relationship with Starbuck, a couple of high profile matches, and his relationship with Dylan Broda. This upcoming Wednesday, we have Zoe Cannon up in the Pennsylvania area. We talk about her relationships with Drew Legacy Wrestling, wrestling in the ring, playing the clarinet, and being brutally assaulted by multiple pairs of pants by another wrestler named Stan Styles. So you could definitely check all of that out this upcoming Tuesday and Wednesday. But don't take my word for it. Here's some clips right now. Well, answer me this. Does weirder shit happen with Dylan or with Nick?
Nick. Undoubtedly. We've stopped teaming up, and I've ditched that loser, but when we did, there's been all kind of crazy stuff happening and conversations that's been happening. Super funny, something that I've enjoyed as well. And Nick is that type of guy. He is a certain kind of crazy, and he, when it's wrestling time and he's in a good mood, he takes that certain kind of crazy to all the 110%, and that's what I love about him, because I'd say it's a similar case with me.
Speaking of slippy situations, can you tell us about your rivalry / marriage with Stan Styles?
Yes. So Stan Styles has proposed to me a few times with very colorful ring pops. And every time I go to give him my answer, because I look to my friends for support, and I look around and I start to wonder what is really happening in my life. And as soon as I turn to him to give him his answer, I get bamboozled with the pants. So he just starts throwing multiple pairs of pants at me.
Alright. Then on the 23rd, which is a Monday, last Monday of the month, we have Kenny Calix. On the 24th, we have Dave Bradshaw. On the 25th, Kylie Devon. On October 1st, we have Mick Vinula. On the 2nd, we have Pumi. On the 8th, we have Balin Aki. On the 9th, Kuya Bourne. On the 15th, we have Johnny McMetal. On the 16th, we have Dylan Broda. And then on the 23rd, we have Rainy. So, yeah. October, I should say, is looking to be a big month for Wrestling Wit. It is our anniversary as well. 4 years interviewing, so yeah. Alright, I think we're done putting ourselves over, no, Kaliko?
Let's get it. I mean, we're always over. You never get done.
Absolutely.
Can't stop, won't stop.
100%. Speaking of Can't Stop, Won't Stop, it was announced earlier this week that last 3 months of Raw on USA will only be 2 hours. Raw hasn't been 2 hours since 2013, I believe. So yeah, major developments there. What are your thoughts on Raw moving back to 2 hours for 3 months?
Less is more in this time frame, and plus, I've always said fall is like usually probably the time that they have the hardest time trying to get an audience, especially considering college football, and they just did the 12-team playoffs on Saturdays, and then Sundays is football. So I mean, ironically, you could hypothetically have footballs from Thursdays to Monday. So it's a tall task to tell somebody, hey, because at least with the other sports like football, you could gamble in it, and it kind of keeps you interested in the game. And wrestling is one of those things where it's like, okay, I'll catch it when I catch it. Unless you're just dedicated and going to the show. And even then, keeping the audience captivated while they're trying to keep the scores on their fantasy teams is a bitch. So it's smart in that regard, at least until the season's over. Because when the season's over and when it gets to the playoffs and the games are far and few between, then you can branch it out and actually, I think that's a better way to road your map, especially in the winter, doing the 3 hours, so you could get everybody kind of like in the work story-wise.
Well, obviously, from a fan perspective, it's going to be easier to digest. Well, technically, without commercials, an hour and a half. Let's be honest.
Yeah, I mean, with the picture-in-picture though, so it's roughly
who
about
watches
the same.
the picture-in-picture? I mean, honestly.
I do.
Well, you're a braver man than I am. That being said, so like I was saying, from a fan perspective, that's easier to digest than an hour and a half pro wrestling. But when the roster is as big as it is on Raw, because they do have a larger roster, and you're losing that extra half hour, do you think that that's going to majorly impact how they tell stories, or how they're going to do the show?
Well, it depends on how they do it. It also kind of keeps them from having to expose the same people every week, so it's kind of rotating. Like, 1 week you could kind of just pick up a snippet of what's going on in the storyline, and it gives them room to alternate, right? kind of like the Wyatt Six. They could pop out anywhere, and their storyline could just sprinkle through, rather than having to have a whole segment dedicated to them.
Okay, so so you don't think the storytelling will be affected that much when it comes
I think it'll be better because it makes people have to pay attention now. Because 3 hours, you could kind of skip some shit, to be quite honest.
Very true.
But 2 hours, roughly hour and a half, you kind of have to pay attention. And it gives other stories time to breathe. So they could do, because the one thing that I noticed they do a lot of is these video packages where they're talking and doing more talking and building it up, which is something I truly thought that they were lacking. And I like those, though, because it kind of gives you that wrestler's perspective of why they're doing what they're doing before they go do what they do.
Right. When it was also reported that when they do indeed move to Netflix in January, it will go back to 3 hours, and there will be commercial breaks. I'm not sure how I feel about that. I mean, obviously, yeah, we were accustomed to them already, but I feel like, commercials on Netflix, it doesn't really compute too well for me.
I mean, they've been putting commercials on Netflix, so that's nothing new to me.
Isn't when you pay for the more expensive one, you don't have to watch commercials?
I mean, I got the one where T-Mobile pays for it, and they're still giving commercials. So shit, I mean, it is what it is at this point.
I got you.
They're gonna get them ads. They're gonna get them ad spots in. It's just a matter of.
I kind of figured it'd be like what they do for Peacock when they're on paid preview. Like, this match will be sponsored by this, and this match will be sponsored by this. Rather than, here's a commercial break here and a commercial break there. But from what I'm hearing, they actually have say in when the commercial breaks are, rather than, this is the time slots that you have. You know what I mean?
Backload all those commercials for the last 5 minutes.
Well, your main event is coming up, and after this commercial break, it's a half hour of commercials. There's 30 minutes commercial break.
Get like a whole 15 minutes. That actually might be smart. Kind of like a New Japan intermission-esque type deal. Kind of like a halftime. Wrestling at halftime. Who would have thought? New Japan.
That would actually be pretty cool, but from their perspective, I think that would be counterproductive. And then people know this is the time we get up and we don't watch.
I know, right? I mean, but you would have to get it just depends on where they time it.
Right.
Like the first match out the break, Gunther versus. Blah, blah, blah.
Right. They also said that if they want to go over, there's no time constraints.
That's the key.
So, if you start at, let's say, the main event starts 5 minutes to 11, they could go to like 11:45 if they want, because there's nothing holding them back from actually doing that. I mean, it's nice to have, that not have that constraint, because it does make things a little bit more unpredictable to say, okay, well, nothing's going to come of this, they only have 5 minutes, to, oh shit, what might actually play out from this? You know what I mean?
it can be a gift and a curse, because we'll be so spoiled to letting shit play out to when they do choose not to do it. Like, what the fuck? So, I can see it happening. It makes me wonder, are they going to show the dark matches on Netflix?
I don't think
The
so.
after? I'm like, fuck. That'd be cool. Like, stay tuned for the post-show and the dark match.
No. Well, I mean,
Why not?
the dark matches are fun, but
I
usually
mean, most of them are... Oh, yes, they're fun.
yeah.
Let me stop, scratch. Some dark matches are fun, but the funnest one was Jey Uso's. Any Jey Uso dark match. He could literally be in a Jey. He'll spend 30 minutes just playing his theme song. Yeet, 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 yeet. You know, so it's...
Yeah. On the opposite end of that spectrum, SmackDown is now on USA Network, and from what I'm hearing, rumor and innuendos, that it might be easier, or they are thinking about making SmackDown 3 hours from now on. What are your thoughts on a 3-hour SmackDown?
I think that is the appeasement of USA. Remember, I keep telling you, USA is owned by NBC, so all of this is still on NBC, and they have to play. And WWE is kind of in that line where they are serving two masters.
Dream Master.
And
NXT is on CW.
Who owns CW? I want to say, what, CBS?
I have no idea.
I mean, that actually matters, because it depends on the network. Next star, Paramount. So Paramount is CBS. So CBS is, so they're kind of under Paramount, which is the CBS. Time to say, yeah, they're serving three masters. But I think CW's, wow, wait a minute. They are owned by Paramount and Warner Brothers. Plot twist.
Did Tony Khan know about this?
The plot thickens. But anyways, but that's just to appease USA. And it's easier to just be like, okay, we're putting Raw on Netflix so we can be more edgy. To make it up, we'll give you that hour on SmackDown. And considering Roman's on SmackDown, they got the heavier stars on SmackDown.
They do. I mean, Cody.
Roman, Cody, Jay, the Bloodline, LA Knight, Logan Paul. Yeah, so it makes more sense in that regard.
I think, what is WWE programming right now? It's 3, 5, 6, 7 hours of programming. So, and that's not, withstanding AEW content. Is it asking a lot to add one more hour to a watch time for WWE fans?
I mean, it's the same time. They just shifting and shit around.
Well, no. Raw would be 3 hours. SmackDown would be 3 hours. That's 6 hours a week, if not.
Oh, well, I mean, but 6 hours on Netflix. I mean, if it was 6 hours, and if it was like how they used to have, you remember it was like SmackDown on Tuesdays and Raw on Mondays. Yeah, that's a haul. But
it's spaced
Friday, yeah, it's spaced out. So it's Friday. Think of it this way: Friday, you're in and out anyway because you're kind of on the weekend tip. Monday, you're in the house anyway because Monday Night Football, so you're flip flopping through, and then you got that space in between, 4 or 5 days in between, and considering that they're going to ramp that up in January, they're ramping that up for the casual fan because they know a lot of casuals come in Royal Rumble season.
Right.
I mean, and not saying that they don't pay attention, but that's where their spike hits rather than the fall. I always say follow the fall. It's just the bitch.
Well, speaking of fall of the fall, AEW seemingly has renewed their contract with Warner Brothers, Warner Media, whatever you want to call them. They will be continuing staying on where they are, and if you believe rumor and innuendo, they will be having some type of content on HBO, well, just Max now, on the Max app as well. Nothing has formally been announced as of now, but um, if you believe, spoiler sheets and rumors, then it's already a done deal. Is this a really big deal for AEW? I think it is, honestly.
It would be because that means HBO is going back into sports because they kind of canned their whole sports division. If I have to be honest, like inside, well, not inside the NFL, but their sports division, as far as and their biggest money maker in the sports division was boxing. So they got rid of that. That tells you everything you need to know. Maybe it's a big deal, but I mean, to be quite honest, I haven't really heard Max. Max is a thing, but it's not the thing that it used to be, if that makes sense.
How? I mean, it's one of the big three, I would say, and they do have a Hulu Disney Max bundle for like $17.
Really? Because I'm so used to the Hulu. Hey, look at us talking about channel combos. The Hulu, ESPN, and the other one. I can't think of the other one.
It's Disney, Hulu, and ESPN.
Disney, Hulu, ESPN, and that makes sense because throw Max in there. But I mean, if that is, it's huge in the sense that they have another platform. I just have to look at how many people are actually subscribed to Max.
That is a good question.
Because the thing is like a lot of people are the streaming services that get the most subscribers are the ones with live sports. And the question is, do you think you're going to gain another 100 to 200,000 people to do some live wrestling on Max?
I would even say, live paid previews because, that can be hard to digest.
Well, even with live pay-per-views, because you got so many outlets for different sports, because you got fight and, you know what I'm saying? So it would have made more sense to be under the fight umbrella because at least there's a home there. And they would put you as one of the big dogs.
Well, no. What I kind of feel is the more, lucrative thing there is that it's the back catalog. You could know literally nothing about AEW, and it pops up. Hey, this show from AEW from X amount of months ago. You're sampling something. You're checking something out.
Never mind.
That seems like a bigger opportunity for them to pick up more fans rather than just being on a random Wednesday night, at 8:00.
I mean, yeah, but I just looked up their numbers. As of September, 95.8 million subscribers globally.
Okay. But,
That's a lot. That's a lot of fucking Jesus Christ.
Well,
Man, they done made us. They done fucked us over because all of this shit used to be on one big cable, and now look at our asses. I hear piecemealing goddamn fucking cable like combos and shit.
yeah, very true. But also keep in mind, Lucha Underground was literally as underground as it could be. It was on a channel not a lot of people got. It only became super popular when it came to Netflix, and people saw it and thought it was the absolute shit. What they didn't know was, Lucha Underground got canceled, and there was no more of it. You know what I mean?
True. I mean, so you're thinking AEW should be on Netflix?
No. What I'm saying is, when you're on an app, when you're on one of these streaming services, you get people that maybe you wouldn't pick up just watching casual TV. You see that little button, oh, AEW, what the hell is AEW? You'll sample it.
Nah, because at this point, everybody knows what AEW is. And the problem was they had one of the best follow-through. I keep telling people the first problem with AEW was when they tried to follow Inside the NBA. And Inside the NBA is the number one television show. And as sad, it's getting canceled. So that's a whole other thing. Or it's not getting canceled. It's that Warner Brothers dropped the ball. Funny, they signed AEW but lost their number one fucking TV show. But that's a whole other thing. But when they couldn't maintain the following from that show, that told me it was a problem. And the problem is that a lot of people that watch basketball, I would think a majority of them would watch wrestling because it's a crossover. And the people, when they did do that, they were like, "Why the hell is Chris Jericho still out?" People were telling him to retire like 5-6 years ago. So I mean, and that's not a knock to Chris. It's just that when people see anything other than WWE that is not in that ecosystem of wrestling, everything looks like WWE light.
Right.
And that is the biggest problem because I mean I could show somebody AEW and a casual dude like Chris Jericho, is this WWE?
Yeah.
I say, no, it's AEW. Like, what is AEW? Now, it seems like that their stuff is going to be more word of mouth than anything. And the problem with that is that their fans tend to be willfully blind.
Very true.
And that's where willfully blind and willfully naive to what's going down. So that's where the disconnect comes from.
Well, speaking of willfully blind and naive, Matt Riddle, he believes that there's a very good possibility that he will return to the WWE triumphantly. I'd like to smoke what he's smoking, honestly, because I don't see that ever happening.
I mean, it took a lot for him to get up out the paint, so I wouldn't put it past him.
Past WWE or past Riddle?
Past Riddle for trying. Now WWE taking him is a whole different animal.
Yeah.
No, I'm not that naive.
Yeah, I don't see it. If I'm being completely honest, and it's not because the pothead, gimmick. but simply because he wasn't very liked in WWE. He rubbed a lot of people the wrong way. And if I feel like a lot of people celebrated when he was fired because he was somewhat of a problem child. And a lot of, he says now, oh, his problems are, better. But yeah, you're not employed by one of the biggest companies in the world. Of course, you're going to have more time to work on yourself. But I do see those issues and problems coming back up for him. You don't want somebody like that in your company, in my opinion.
Man, we've seen CM Punk come back. Anything is fucking possible at this point.
I mean, yes, but at least CM Punk was a draw. People actually wanted to see him. For how many years did they chant CM Punk at in WWE events?
I mean, but because he's the martyr, he's basically. I mean, when he left, they made it seem like he was wrestling Kurt Cobain. Riddle. Don't get me wrong, that dude sold shit, scooters and flip flops and shit. So he had a merch drive. He had was his following CM Punk? No, nobody. Nobody's following CM Punk. But it wasn't like he was the bottom of the total. It ain't like he's the OC.
Yeah, but I don't see, his fan base saying, "Oh, we need Matt Riddle back in WWE." All around, I think, stay on the indies, make your money, feed your family, good to go. Alright.
We'll see.
Yep.
We will see.
Our next bit of news, speaking of CM Punk, they did actually, we've been talking about these bracelets, CM Punk bracelets. They actually started selling them on WWEshop.com. Which actually prompted the originator, the creator of this bracelet to speak out and say, some type of heads up would have been nice. As she was actually very graceful. Her name's Victoria, for anybody that didn't know. She wasn't necessarily expecting any, financial compensation, rather than just some type of acknowledgement that, she was the one that originally created it. WWE has since apologized. CM Punk gave her a shout out, and they took those bracelets off WWEshop.com. Is this a real misstep for WWE? Under the Triple
No. No, because that's the same thing as like, you know what that sounds like? You remember when WWE 2K, was it a couple years? Oh, I think it was this year or last year when WWE 2K came out and they had the tattoos, and the tattoo artist tried to sue the WWE because they used the tattoos that he put on the wrestler, even though the wrestler is signed to the company. Do you see how ass backwards this sounds?
Yeah, you're speaking about Randy Orton's tattoos.
I see this in the same light because they did something to where they just took it and made it a storyline. The fact that it's a storyline gets you the exposure that you were looking for. The company, it's not like she's now if she's a small business owner and she copyrighted it and all that but jazz, I could get your point. But My son makes those things in 3rd grade, for crying out loud. It's not like it's something unique or original under the sun. And putting it in music terms, it's like someone trying to sue someone because they use the C chord. Who owns the C chord? Nobody owns the C chord. You see what I'm saying? It's
I
like...
get what you mean. But, obviously, the rivalry between CM Punk and Drew McIntyre was one of the biggest this year. And it revolved around that bracelet.
No, it didn't. The bracelet was just a
plot device.
Yeah, it was just something to thicken the plot, because this shit is just them talking shit was like Hatfield and McCoy's.
Well, again, she wasn't necessarily looking for compensation financially. She just wanted it to be known, like in the description, that she was the person, original design by Victoria. That's all she kind of wanted.
Oh God, why is everybody like? It doesn't, and the bracelet just says CM Punk. It doesn't even say AJ or Larry. Man, if you don't get the hell out of my face, get the hell out of my face with that shit. It's not even the same bracelet. Now, if it was the same bracelet, I could see your point.
If that is true, then you are correct.
The bracelet, the friendship bracelet, I'm looking at it on the shop because it's still there.
Oh, really?
It just says CM Punk.
I think that they
doesn't.
I think they took off the one that said AJ and Larry, because originally there was one that had AJ and Larry on it.
Let me find it. See, now you got me. Now we going down the rabbit hole over something that is like,
Yeah. This is where Scooter was the best. He already had those tabs.
He already had it on fleek, and that's
he had it bookmarked. It was in the next tab. He
had it bookmarked and shit. Man, this shit is on Etsy. Can you stop? Go find the motherfucker on Etsy doing it. If it ain't her, then I don't want to hear it.
These were like 5-cent bracelets. I could probably make that for. I have a. What's the name of the craft stores? Fucking
Michaels?
Michaels, yes.
Yes, you can go to Michaels and make it.
Yes. Michaels in the corner for me. I could literally go to Michaels and make that shit in the next 10 minutes if I wanted to.
Dude, I had a school make me one that said Wu-Tang is for the kids. Stop. This is what I'm talking about. She doesn't. I get that here's where I will empathize with her. It is something that she put in her heart and soul into it and gave it to a person as a token of appreciation for in their lives. I totally get that. That part I can totally see 100%. And I can say she does not own friendship bracelets at the same time. I can hold those two thoughts. Like, just saying.
Well, they're not looking to own it, but they are looking to bring it to their state, and that is Milwaukee. They're looking to bring the Money in the Bank pay-per-view to Milwaukee in their baseball arena, I believe.
Huh?
Yeah, they put a bid in for Money in the Bank.
Milwaukee,
yes.
Wisconsin.
Home of the
Boy,
Cheeseheads.
Hey, you know what? They might fuck around and get it. Because, I mean, I personally think this is like the Midwest like screaming, don't leave us out for these pay-per-views. Because they can't fuck with like a New Orleans or Miami or New York or Jersey or L.A. or San Fran or Vegas.
You know, we've talked a lot about WWE going to these other countries. It's an easy payday. These places haven't seen these people in this environment before. You're going to get a loud crowd for a house show type scenario. Um, and like I believe we talked about this. United States isn't getting those paid previews anymore. They did take them for granted. So they're looking at those paid previews, those PLEs, I should say. They're seeing that they're selling out. They're breaking records, and America's like, what about us? So as great as the international PLEs are, was this maybe kind of a ploy to get America interested in bidding for these minor paid PLEs for the long run?
Nah, Money in the Bank's not a minor PLE anymore.
It's one of the major ones, I would say.
It's WrestleMania, Royal Rumble, SummerSlam, Survivor Series, and Money in the Bank. Now, Survivor Series is in Toronto, so or is it Vancouver?
It's Vancouver, I believe.
Yeah, Vancouver. But I mean, I already told you what the formula I think is going to be. They're going to do all the things international, a couple of the big four in the major cities, and then a couple of the big four in those Midwestern cities that wouldn't get it otherwise, to kind of spread it out. And so far, that's the thing. And the thing that's hurting Milwaukee is the fact that Indy just got one.
And it's Milwaukee.
But in Indy has the football stadium. Milwaukee. Now, Lambeau Field, different story. But who the fuck is trying to go to Green Bay, Wisconsin, other than the Packer fans?
And Mr. Anderson.
Yeah, Mr. Anderson. So that's the killer. It's destination. I mean, if it wasn't for the fact that SummerSlam was in Cleveland, I would have no business in Cleveland.
I don't think anybody would have a business in Cleveland.
No disrespect to Bone Thugs and Harmony. Bad disrespect to Bow Wow. But
Is that because he just can't get Cargill?
no, because Bone Thugs and Harmony are from the gangster side of Cleveland, and Bow Wow is not really the.
To each their own, I would say. But the one thing is, if they were to get Money in the Bank, the baseball arena is a much bigger arena than a normal arena. It's more on the stadium lines. Do you see them being able to fill a stadium for Money in the Bank? Because a couple of years ago, they tried to get Money in the Bank in Allegiant, and they could not fill that place up for Money in the Bank.
That's the tough part. It depends on the where.
Well,
and it depends on if it's a baseball stadium. I would say Dodger Stadium could probably get it.
No, well, I mean the Milwaukee baseball stadium. I mean.
Oh, they're not filled. No, because no one's going to the Milwaukee Stadium unless you're like a Milwaukee Brewers fan or you're trying to kick that bucket list of going to all the baseball stadiums.
I get that.
So if they did it at Yankee Stadium, I could see it because it's historic. Fenway, I could see it. Wrigley, I can see it.
I think
Dodger Stadium, I can see it. San Fran, the Giants Stadium, San Fran, Petco Park.
But do you think that
But-
you could fill up an actual stadium rather than an arena for, it is one of the bigger PLEs, but it isn't the biggest PLE. And the last time they tried to fill up a stadium for Monday
Yeah, they
Night
moved
Football,
it, so that's why I don't see it doing it. They would probably have it at where the Bucks play. I think it's Energy Arena. I can't think of it, the arena that they have.
Okay.
But I don't see Money in the Bank is not until Milwaukee might be starting that trend, and it could be like a weekend thing. But until that happens, I don't see it being like that, because even with the Big Four, it's more of a weekend-long celebration.
Right.
And Money in the Bank is not quite that yet.
We're getting there, but it's not quite that yet.
Yep. Because what was Money in the Bank this year was in Toronto.
Yeah, Canada.
Yeah, it was in Toronto. So, that was pretty filled up. But it was a regular stadium, not like a...
Yeah. And it was in Canada.
Yeah.
They don't have a lot to do in Canada but go to see...
Canada took a lot of L's with Drake. They needed that.
Apparently,
They needed
to
that.
begin with. If you hear what, the diss track.
Yeah. Crody? Anyway.
Yeah, we're getting off topic now. Talking about a diss track, Kiana James, she got drafted to Raw earlier this year.
Kiana James. Kiana James.
It doesn't matter now. She's on the alumni page of WWE.
Damn.
As of right now, it doesn't seem like she's fired. Maybe she got injured? ? But nothing has really been said one way or the other.
Man.
I can make the argument it wasn't necessarily... She wasn't necessarily setting the world on fire with what she was doing in WWE. So, this might actually be a blessing in disguise to kind of repackage her, see something that might actually work for her, and bring her back.
They better, because she one badass. So, yeah, they better find something. They gotta find something.
I mean, she was okay.
What?
Yeah, let's be honest.
Okay. Okay, sir. I don't even want to go there. That's not.
I mean, 0 title wins made in NXT. Like, why? Who did she wrestle in NXT? Name me one good Kiana James promo.
I see one good Kiana James ass. How about that?
And
I see 2 butt cheeks that are just good, and their name is Kiana and James. How about that? There we go.
Good point. You win this argument.
God damn it.
That will conclude our coverage of the news. And now a quick word from our sponsors. So,
Rogue Energy, the only gaming drink company in the world with 4 unique product lines to suit your task at hand, whether it be juices, shakes, smoothies, and everything else in between. Their low-calorie, no-sugar energy formula is the perfect alternative to sugar-filled canned energy drinks and sodas. Their extreme formula provides the most energy, focus, and sports performance possible. Their hydration line offers focus, ingredients without the added caffeine. Drink it anytime you're thirsty. And their shake formula is so delicious. Who doesn't love a cookies and cream, 0-calorie energy milkshake. First and foremost, they've designed every Rogue product line with performance and effectiveness in mind. It is critical that you look at the nutrition panels of drinks when comparing options. There are countless off brands out there that are presenting low quality, poorly dosed formulas that amount to expensive caffeine water. Every formula they produce is designed with optimal levels of high quality ingredients. Additionally, you won't find a powdered gaming drink brand that dissolves better. No need to have chalky textures in your drink. Their taste profiles are unmatched, specifically designed for gamers, athletes, students, entrepreneurs, people with hectic schedules, individuals with low energy, podcasters who can't shut up, people who are health conscious, and so much more. Great as both a pre-workout and as a coffee energy drink replacement. Specifically designed every Rogue product line to be the best gaming drink on the planet. Rogue Energy, more focus, more wins.
Use promo code WrestlingWithE for 10% off your next purchase. And we are wrestling with AEW All Out. It took place last Saturday at the Wow Arena. Attendance was 8,660.
That's it?
Yeah.
God damn! What the fuck?
I mean, it's a pretty decent house for AEW, if I'm being honest.
But I remember that was like 15, 16.
Yeah, they haven't done that since CM Punk left.
I mean, I'm about to see. I'm looking at Brian Meltzer's star rating. So.
Oh God! All right.
Hey, I'm just gonna see if it aligns with ours. That's all.
I actually like that idea. So let's
us versus Meltzer.
Yes. After we give our star review, we will hear what Uncle Dave has to say afterwards.
Uncle Dave got the fucking say about this.
It's like you said, it's 8,660. That's kind of like a sneeze for WWE at this point, and it's one of the better houses AEW's done this year. They're around the 1 to 2,000 mark when it comes to arenas. I don't know if you saw recently the whole camera side, the hard cam side, was completely empty for one of their recent events. So,
I honestly, I want them to do better because it's better when we got different outlets and different, So, I mean, I can't speak for James. James might want them to die, but I don't want AEW to die. Because you need the variety. Variety is the spice of life. I just think that it's kind of ass backwards when you got 4 factions and they're all heel factions and they're all trying to take over AEW at the same time.
So,
but yeah, there's that. And only one can really do it, and that would be the one with the Bucks because they got the titles. Okay, but anyway.
So. I agree with you. I want AEW to do well. I want them to succeed. But I don't want it to be at the expense of the talent. And
right.
They're mutilating these guys and girls. Like, we're going to be talking about these matches, and we'll get into them because there's a lot to be said about them. But, you don't want to hear, well, somebody died in the ring, or after, they got injected by a needle and they died from shock afterwards. These guys and girls, they're hurting themselves severely. Like, how long is AEW's injury list right now? And they're not learning any new skills. They're not learning. They're actually worse for being in AEW rather than better. I mean, yeah, they're making
Shock jock wrestling is what you think it is.
they're making a lot of money, and that's great that they're getting that money. But when AEW ceases to become something, or if for whatever reason they get fired, how do they bounce back from that? Because it can be a pretty devastating thing, I would say, no?
I mean, it will be, but you just don't want it to get to that. And that's the hard part. But then again, this has always been an issue with the culture. Like, they don't. Who's going to check who? Who is the voice of reason there? And if a guy like Daniel Bryan, who we know has had like crazy fucking injury histories, is not, you know what I'm saying, being that voice of reason. And the other voice of reason would be John Moxley, but we all know how he does. So, you see what I'm saying? They're not going to follow what they say, they're going to follow what they do. And that is where, you know, it could get off the wheel for them. And I don't want it to. And not every match has to be a street fight for you to get the point home. And it kind of, it's almost like, how can I put this? The shock value and what they're trying to accomplish is overpowering the wrestling and the storytelling.
Right.
Because there are stories to be told. Certain things are overshadowing it.
Right. I mean, like Tony Storm and Mariah may have been the best storyline AEW's ever produced, if I'm being honest.
Really?
Not
Hangman Page and Kenny?
It's up there, but I mean, what they've Hangman was kind of already established. Mariah May came out of nowhere, became this protege, and now she's world champion over Tony Storm. They actually made somebody rather than, you know, establishing somebody. You know what I mean?
Right. I mean, I get it. It's just, yeah, I think that's the. I get what you're saying, where they took someone who was relatively, I mean, but even Hangman Page wasn't known. So I get your point where, you know, like,
Right.
how can I put it? Best stories where the actual wrestling story ended and they actually became better than what they were. You can make the argument, yeah, that's probably one of the top ones.
And also keep in mind, Kenny and Page was stop and start. It wasn't one long continuous thing.
Right. Injuries and so on and so forth, yeah.
COVID notwithstanding, Hangman had a child during that time as well, so there was a lot of things to be desired. But let's get into this show. I'm not sure how you watched it, but I actually watched it in 2-match increments each day. So I was able to actually digest what I was watching rather than just groan through 4 hours of this shit, which was can be very difficult. But I actually it made it actually more easy. It was easy. It was more easy to tolerate. Digest.
Better than me. I ate the whole foe. Hey. Ate the whole foe, my guy.
And I better give you guess.
Ooh, I mean, between them and San Diego State, yeah, they all gave me guess. Anyways.
MJF defeated Daniel Garcia in 23 minutes and 40 seconds. Decent opener. Nothing necessarily grand or fantastic about it. MJF did MJF shit. Daniel Garcia didn't do his stupid dance. MJF got the win, went for the handshake with Daniel Garcia for whatever fucking reason, and then Garcia was able to kick him low. I guess getting some revenge? It didn't seem like the crowd was very much into this idol. What is your thoughts, Kaliko?
Because it was kind of a given who was winning. I mean, we went over this card by card.
Yeah.
Mad predictable. The only match that wasn't predictable. Yeah, it was mad predictable because they just had All In. So that's where it threw it out. You know, All In followed All Out, like literally.
2 weeks.
I mean, the spacing wasn't there to give it that plausible. So,
Right.
So it was a given.
It's also if you believe rumor and innuendo, Daniel Garcia was actually supposed to win this match, but he hasn't signed a new contract with AEW despite coming to terms with them. Is that maybe foreshadowing that he might be on his way out? That he lost his match?
Yeah, I doubt it. Because even if he had that had no bearing on MJF beating the brakes off his ass. Because MJF is one of the quote unquote pillar, and they're not gonna.
And he just
and
lost
he
the
had
match on,
he came back, beat at Will Ospreay, held the title, lost to Will Ospreay. He ain't taking 2 in a row.
Very true.
Like, I mean, just let's just keep it a stack. He ain't taking 2 in a row.
Nope, you're not wrong about that. How many stars do you give this one?
3.
Give it 2.5.
Ooh.
Nothing necessarily new, exciting. Nothing in any other context wouldn't have held my interest.
You don't even want to know what Meltzer gave it.
I'm going to say 4.5.
4.5.
Okay, so I'm.
Oh, this is our new one. Guess that rating. Oh, he just created a new segment on the show. I didn't do my game show shit. It's time to play Guess That Rating.
Next match, the middle-aged fucks, Matthew and Nicholas, they defeated Claudio Ida Cannoli and Dord Wheeler Yuta to retain the World Tag Team Championships in 15 minutes and 45 seconds.
Why wouldn't it be One Wheeler Yuta?
Because he's the third wheel. He was the third wheel with Moxley and Bryan. And then they brought Cannoli, and I mean, technically that makes him the fourth wheel, but that doesn't sound as fun.
Oh, well. I just thought about it.
Yeah.
I mean, I was just, because spoiler, so when Moxley choked the environmentalist with a paper bag.
That's one way to put it, I suppose.
The environmental champion gets choked out with a plastic bag. I thought, the first thing I thought was, yeah, Moxley didn't get that payback for that William Regal shit.
Yeah. Great.
That just kind of went out the wayside. And who was William Regal's best friend? One of his best students?
Daniel Bryan.
Daniel Bryan. All right, there you go. It's coming full circle, people. See, they have stories. Anyway, yeah, this was another predictable match. 15 minutes. I think Claudio could have did a lot more. Some of these, my ratings go down because I kind of knew what was going to happen. Not against the match itself, but it's just I kind of figure. Even WWE, you kind of know what's going to happen, but I mean, Bash in Berlin, the crowd carried that shit.
Oh, yeah.
They brought in a C card and it turned into a B just because of the crowd.
Right.
Because they seemed enthused with it. But see, so yeah, predictable match. Kind of the Young Bucks did the Young Buck things, or the Exec Bucks, or the Milwaukee Bucks, or I don't know. I wonder, you know what would be better if they actually brought the rapper Young Buck to actually get them to the ring. But that's just long shot for me.
They would have to not have the final countdown for Bryan Danielson at least one time in order to bring him to perform for the Bucks.
I mean, if Young Buck comes out playing Get Buck to the Young Bucks, I think I'd be on it more.
I mean, but it's expensive, and I mean, you could have a whole event with the amount of money they pay just to have the final countdown song.
It's Young Buck. That catalog ain't that expensive.
Okay, but I guess so. So like I told you, I watched this show in 2 matches a day, easy to kind of digest. I saw the Young Bucks come out, and the first thing I said was, "Fuck this," and I spit it up.
How much did it make it digestible?
I could
But
not
this is the match
I could not bring myself to watch it. I knew what was going to happen. I didn't need to actually see it unfold.
Was it? I mean, so let me ask this: what is it? Because you know it's the same old Young Buck stuff, or is it?
They're so pretentious at this point. Like, they're not even trying to be anything new or different. They're just rehashing the same. It's like the same character but in a different skin. If you play video games.
Fortnite, I get it.
Yeah. So, and I mean, did anybody think that Claudio and Wheeler was actually going to win? They're not necessarily. They're not FTR. You know, if this was FTR versus the Bucks, I mean, first of all, I would have said, why the fuck are they wrestling again? But, you know, that's another thing completely.
Another day.
Yeah. I just, you know that the Young Bucks are going to do Young Buck shit. You know, it's just going to be what they want to do the way they want to do it. I don't need to see it, if I'm being honest. It doesn't excite me. It doesn't make me interested to watch.
Oh gosh, so New Japan Young Bucks better than AEW Young Bucks.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Okay, fair enough.
So I give this 2 fast forward bars. What say you, Kaliko?
Those are not stars, but okay. 2.5 for me.
I'm going to say Meltzer gave this 4 stars.
You're cheating, sir. Yes, he gave it 4 stars.
Wow, I am very in tune with Dave Meltzer today.
I mean, are you his cousin or something?
Oh,
Twin,
fuck no.
Where have you been?
How dare you? How dare you?
Alright.
The International House of Pancakes Championship match, Will Ospreay defeats Deadline, the son of an unwed mother, Pickpack.
Tupac.
Pickpack. It was flippy shit. It was indie shit. You know, actually, you know, Pac is actually not that bad of a wrestler. I do think that he is pretty good. Despite not being able to wrestle as long as he's been able to wrestle.
Safety.
No, I mean he gets injured a lot. So I mean, like in the 5 years that AEW's been a thing, he's maybe wrestled maybe 3 of them, and I'm being polite with that.
Generous.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're being generous.
But you know, when he does actually wrestle, he is good, and this wasn't as bad as it could have been with anybody else. Um, so
Bunch of flippy shit, you know.
yeah,
The
I mean,
usual.
if you were expecting anything different, I mean, yeah,
Don't expect a Bret Hart match with Will Ospreay and Pac.
no, 100%. So it wasn't a bad match. I'll say that.
Yeah, it wasn't bad. Pretty good. Really good. Like, death-defying stuntman good.
All right, how many stars do you give this one?
3.5 to me.
I give it. You know what? I'll give it 3.5 too. Now I'm going to say Dave Meltzer gave this 6.5 stars.
Nah, he gave it 5.5.
I was off by a star. Okay.
Off by a star. But 5.5 stars. I didn't even think he could go past that. Like, goddamn, what's his perfect match then? Shit. Oh, the Okada Omega Tokyo Dome 2. Never mind.
Yeah.
I totally forgot. All right.
Chicken and a Cargo street fight. Chris Statlander with Stokely Hathaway defeated Willow Nightingale by submission. I was pleasantly surprised by this match. Was it the best match? No, but they showed some constraint, I would say, and I did not expect Statlander to actually win. So that definitely.
That's what threw me off.
Yeah. So just for the pop that I did not see her winning, I give them credit for that. That was pretty good.
I give them credit because they've been doing this whole shit where people turn heel and then they just whoop, heel gets them every time, and it's like, oh, it just took me to Orange Cassidy and Trent Beretta. And I'm like, Trent Beretta beats the brakes off of his ass every turn. But when it came to the match, he just could not win. And I'm like, what the fuck is this? How come this is not translating? The math was not mathing for me. The wrestling was not wrestling. It's like, Jesus Christ, man. Kills you, those things. But I give AEW credit. They got at least this one right. It should have been Statlander winning the previous one so Willow could get this one and then move on, but they just did it in reverse and had Statlander beat her ass and move on. So I guess potato.
Yeah, I mean, I'm assuming that this is the last match in the series, so
it has to be because Willow beat her ass in a tag, a singles, a fucking mixed tag. I was like, God damn, how many ways did Statlander go get that ass beat? And
how many ways can you beat Statlander?
I know, right? Give her a break. Break me off a piece of that Chris Statlander. Don't make sense.
Yeah.
Nevertheless.
We got as our good friend like to stay in some female matches, vagina staples. We got our first ever vagina thumbtacks. So yeah, Scooter would have been very happy with that.
Oh yes. No one was very pro vagina staples like our guy.
Yeah, and now a whole new world for vagina thumbtacks. How many stars you give this one, Kaliko?
I mean, this one, the fact that Statlander won shocked the shit out of me. I will gladly give them a solid 3.5.
I give it 3.5 as well because I thought it was the fact that Statlander won popped me. So yeah. Um, Meltzer, I say
Guess that rating.
3 stars.
Nope.
2.5.
4 3/4.
The fuck? That's a lot
like,
of fucking match.
That's a lot. Who gives out 3/4 of a star?
It's like he didn't want to be offensive? Question mark?
what the fuck was that? Like 3/4? This motherfucker got some gall, boy.
Like, it's honestly low-key offensive.
Because it's like not 5, but not 4.5. You're just dangling it. Just floating in the middle. Not a full star, not a half star. Just past half star, not a full star. Just
Yeah.
Coke Zero of star.
The four-way match for the Continental Breakfast Championship, Kazuchika Okea defeated Mark Briscoe, freshly pooped Orange Cassidy, and Kolkatsuka takes Shida in 15 minutes and 15 minutes straight. This match was not great. It had zero heat. Like the crowd would rather boo Don Callis than actually be invested in the guys that were actually in the ring. So which speaks volumes. And I mean, Okada was in there.
Okada. Like this guy at one point, top 10 wrestler, top number 1 wrestler in the world.
Yeah, at one point he was. Not anymore. He's wrestling Orange Cassidy. Yeah, it wasn't a great match. I don't think anybody cared about it. What say you?
It's not the Okada that I'm used to.
It's not the Okada anybody's used to.
I know, and that's my issue. I think that's probably the biggest issue. It's like, what the fuck did they do to Okada? He needs to go. What did they do to my boy? They massacred my boy.
You know,
they massacred my boy.
I felt like it was better when Okada. You know, people they shit on TNA for making Okada Gato to Samoa Joe like over a decade ago. But I kind of feel like this is actually worse than what TNA did with Okada.
They broke Okada.
Yeah, not wrong. How many stars do you give this one?
2.
Give it. Do I want to give it 2? 1.5. I will say. Oh God, what do I want to say? He gave it.
Guess that rating. Let's guess.
4 stars.
Four and a quarter.
So it's off by a quarter. Okay.
What the fuck? My man is out here giving out quarter pounders out here. Quarter stars. Like, what the hell is that?
It's called a Crown Royal. No, it's fuck it. Oh, never mind. Next match, singles match for AEW's That Bitch Show Championship. Mercedes Monet defeated, who are you? Sheeta in 16 minutes and 30 seconds. Chamomile Tea was banned from ringside. I don't know why this match took place. I don't know why Sheeta had this match. But I don't not like Sheeta, but it just seemed like they just wanted Mercedes on the show, so that's why this match happened.
Well, according to how much money she getting, bitch, you on every shit.
Yeah.
Like, the way she making, she get more than Okada. And Okada's broken at this point.
Yeah, and he might be broken, but he's laughing his way to the bank, I suppose.
Well, let's hope so. All right.
How many shows?
It's tough because it's like Sasha. Am I the only one who's seeing like a lot of these people falling off?
Oh yeah.
Okay, all right, just me. Okay, this match should have been better than what it should have been. With that being said, when Chamomile Tea was, or Camille was banned, I knew Mercedes was gonna beat that ass. So, 2.
I give it 2 as well. I'm assuming Meltzer gave this at least 4.5, maybe a 4.25.
2 3/4. I just don't get these 3/4. Yeah.
That was a really
interesting.
That's really bad. I mean, that's literally like the worst match on the card as of right now.
I mean, according to Meltzer, so far.
Alright. AEW World Championship match. Daniel, don't call me Brian Danielson, defeated Jack Perry.
Did you say the homie?
What?
Did you say Daniel the homie?
Don't call me Brian.
Oh, I thought you said the homie.
I mean, he could be Daniel the homie. We could call him that now.
I mean, Brian the homie. So anyways, oh gosh.
He defeated Jack Perry the Platypus in 27 minutes and 35 seconds. I would say that this match was 20 minutes too long.
Damn.
We knew who was gonna win. He won.
Yeah, we knew. He just got the bitch.
Yeah, like he won it 2 weeks ago. Like it wasn't going to be anything different. So yeah, and it was a Daniel Bryan match. There's no other way to put it. Yeah, that's kind of all I have to say about it. Kaliko?
Pretty much. I mean, there's Daniel Bryan and Jack Perry, and kind of showed you there's levels to this.
And then after the match, Christian Cage match came to maybe cash in his Money in the Bank contract that he got 2 weeks ago. I'm assuming it's a Money in the Bank. Nobody really was specific of what it was. Came out with
Isn't it the what's his face? The chip?
No, he didn't win the chip. It was just a gauntlet match.
Shit.
He came out with Damian Wayne, Martha Wayne, and Lunchasaurus. And he was stopped by Ida Cannoli, Dord Wheeler, the Bastard Pickpock, and neo-Nazi Moxicillin. They backed off. The rest of the Combat Wombats celebrated with Brian until
Combat Wombats.
until Moxley decided to take a paper bag, a plastic bag, I should say, and choke Daniel Bryan with it and suffocate him on pay-per-view.
Which is weird to me.
Really, that was. How is this not weird? How is this weird?
Because I'm trying to figure out where the fuck did the rest of the Combat Wombats go to allow him to choke a paper bag?
Well, they were in it. They were in on it, except Wheeler.
Oh, they just kicked him out. Oh,
Yeah.
baby. Oh, baby.
No longer go to door wheel. How did you feel about?
He's two-wheeler Yuta. See, wheeler two Yuta. Two-wheeler Yuta. There you go. Something.
How did you feel about the plastic bag spot?
It's typical. It's typical AEW-ish. It just kind of called back, like I said. Remember, he was the Captain Planet champion.
Right. I mean, that makes it a
He
little
gets
funny. Yes.
He gets choked out by something you find in the river. But yeah. But I mean, I guess they're trying to hit the point home. And Moxley, at this point, I mean, ever since he's been in AEW, he's never been the PG guy, if you will. So it makes sense in his brain.
You know, I just kind of, I could see where people would find it to be poor taste. I didn't necessarily like the spot myself. They could have did something less and make it mean more than it was. You know, instead of saying, oh shit, Moxley, you know, turned on Bryan, we're talking about, you know, the spot itself. It takes away from the actual, you know, the moment rather than the spot. So, you know, whenever you do something like that, you lose. Because you lose the meaning of what you're doing.
Well, the meaning of it is, I mean, looking at how he was speaking Wednesday, he kind of had a validity to it, because it's a lot of goddamn egos in AEW.
But no, it's not like what that, it's how, it's not what they wanted to do, it's how the crowd will interpret it. And the crowd, if the crowd is feeling uncomfortable and they're feeling that this isn't, you know, right what they're doing, then it becomes lost. You know what I mean?
It does, but this is where the issue comes into play, because, and I'm just going to say this, everybody wants attitude until attitude shows up.
Who was they choking with a plastic bag in the Attitude Era?
I mean, they were running over motherfuckers with cars and choke slamming each other off Hell in the Cells. And yeah, come on, bro. Like, I mean, I know you were still in diapers when this happened, but Attitude was meant to be edgy. Hell, ECW in itself, I mean, hello? That's what I'm saying. Everybody wants edgy and Attitude and this oomph until it hits up. And that's where it's like, oh, it's too cringe. So it's like, which is it? Because the argument for people watching AEW is what? The number one argument.
It's not. It doesn't resonate with the normal wrestling crowd. It's a niche.
No. The number one thing the AEW fans always say is what? About WWE is what?
Too predictable?
No, too PG.
Yeah.
So that was always the argument. I watch AEW because it's not PG like the WWE. This punk comes out and they're looking like, oh shit, this is a little step too far. But the problem is that they've been doing so much to get your shock factor, you're starting to get desensitized to it.
Which makes them go further and further with bad shit they could do.
Exactly.
Interesting. How many stars you give this one?
I mean, it's Daniel Bryan. I'll give him a solid 3 because he carried Perry the Platypus. Is that what we call it?
Jack Perry the Platypus. Yes.
Perry the Platypus. Yeah, about 3.
I give it 2.5.
Ooh, wow.
Daniel Bryan doing Daniel Bryan shit. I'm assuming this was a 6-star match in Meltzer's eyes.
No, not a 6-star.
5.5.
Nah.
5.
Nah. 4 3/4.
These fucking
That quarter star system fucking you.
It really is, yeah.
That quarter shit is fucking with me right now. Anyways.
Next match, Lights Out.
Speaking of going too far.
Yeah. Lights Out Solid Steel Cage match. Pornstash Page defeated Swivel Strickland with Prince Na Hey Hey Goodbye by knockout in 31 minutes and 30 seconds. Talk about self-mutilation. It says knockout by here, but let's call a spade what it's spade. He won by giving Swerve Strickland AIDS, because that's what it was fucking happened there.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Or some kind of, blood transfusion.
The last match, Paige got hepatitis, and this one, Swerve got AIDS. Like, these are, like, out of the fucking box, bonkers matches. And they don't necessarily need to be. A lot of it was just rehash shit from their last match. I feel like
Yes.
the cage didn't really add anything. It kind of restricted them. With,
Bingo. And restricted view. Yes. Yep, we're here.
Which is
I'm here with you.
not great.
Mm-hmm.
I felt like they didn't do... What they did do was brutal, but didn't necessarily need to be done. It didn't add anything. It just made it more just how badly can we self-mutilate each other. And then obviously what everybody is talking about, everything that everybody wants to know about. Hangman Page took out a syringe with a needle. He shoved it into Swerve's mouth, into his cheek, and it protruded outwards of his cheek. And then he took a chair shot to the head, which caused a knockout decision by the referee. The syringe spot, most famously used by DJ Hyde and Thumbtack Jack many years ago in a tournament at that. It didn't need to be this. And the needle added nothing to the match. It was literally just to shock people, honestly.
We just went over this, sir.
Yeah.
That's what I'm telling you. It's getting to the point where the flips were cool, but now everybody's doing a flip in their match. So everybody's trying to figure out what can they do to stand out and how far can they go to stand out. And considering the last time these dudes fought, somebody went to Kaiser, and now they really want and this is the problem, because people will, and AEW fans will tell you, well, at least this isn't PG like WWE, and it's like, well, no common sense parent would put their kids to watching this.
At least WWE knows where that bank is, and that's with the kids.
Well, the bank is with the kids, but the bank is also with investing them emotionally.
Right.
It's more than just, because people, the one thing people understand that they say, well, WWE's PG and the reason that formula is how it's so is because these kids are seeing them as heroes. I can only say that because I have a kid. He looks at John Cena like a hero. John Cena lost at WrestleMania. Fucker was crying for 2 hours straight. That's the investment. Do you see what I'm saying? The investment. John Cena's final WrestleMania match in Vegas, he found out, or he saw it, started crying, and was like, I want to go. Because that's my hero. Do you see what I'm saying? And that's the investment. And this is when we say, like, the moves are good, but without the story, it's just like, and I get, the question I always said is, why are they going back to this after Swerve was already at the mountaintop?
Right.
And that's where I'm having the disconnect, because this easily could have been a Swerve versus Hangman for the title.
Yeah, you're not wrong about that. And also keep in mind that Swerve literally signed like an over six-figure contract maybe like a week ago. He lost to Daniel Bryan in All In, and now he lost to Hangman in All Out, and now he's taking time off after he just signed one of the biggest contracts for somebody that wasn't already a major star. How does that make any sense?
Well, I think they gave him the contract for what he has done instead of what he is going to do.
Answer me this. Who was the good guy and who was the bad guy in this match?
Who was the good guy and who was the bad guy? I couldn't tell you, because it really didn't. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It didn't. I mean, a year ago, it would have been Swerve was the bad guy. Hangman was good.
I mean, that's how it started. I mean, he broke.
I get the shade of gray.
Yeah.
It's a shade of gray, but the problem is that this is just violence. It's not even. You see what I'm saying?
Right. There may have been a story leading up to the match, but there was no story actually in the match.
Bingo. And that's where it's like, what is the reason for the callback to this? Because say what you will about the Punk and the McIntyre bracelet, the bracelet was secondary to what the actual story was. And even when Punk got the win back and people thought it was over, McIntyre made you get invested saying, nah, I ain't fucking done. He pulled the Braun Strowman. I'm not finished with you.
Right.
And that is what makes it compelling. Swerve beat Hangman in LA. Why the fuck is... And it ain't like Hangman has just...
Like almost a year ago as well.
Right. And it ain't like Hangman was just not on TV. He was on TV, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's what's throwing me off. Like, why try to circle that? I guess he's trying to do the New Japan callback, but the New Japan callback is a callback once they get the title. Or once that person accomplishes something. And I could see Hangman causing him the championship. Then they go into a feud and this is a blow off. But this isn't even a... If this is the beginning of the feud, where do you go from here?
Right.
And that is where it's like, that's where the lost in translation of the story for me comes from. Not saying that that's not a knock on the wrestlers, because they're just out there doing the best they can to give us an entertainment. It's just the simple fact that the way everything is put together felt like it was just throwing clay on a ball. Because, I mean, as we get into the PWI, are we getting into POWI this episode?
Yes, we are.
Okay, this is going to be a long episode. So, spoiler alert, Swerve was number 2 on PWI. You don't put a person who, to them, the second best wrestler in the world, and have him lose the title on a short title reign, and then lose to Hangman back to back, and then in the manner in which the violence was there. So it's kind of like a trickle down effect to me, and I don't know where they're gonna go from there.
Hopefully they don't, if I'm being honest. I hope that this was just it, and we don't see them wrestle ever again, because if they do, God help us to see what they'll do next, because I can't imagine.
Well, the thing is what does Hangman gain from this?
I can't imagine that he isn't going for a title or Brian right now. But
well, that ain't happening because Moxley's about to go after his ass.
Yeah, and then
so that's my point. Like that's where it doesn't make sense. Brian could have got kicked out of the Combat Wombats without the title.
Yeah.
Swerve, I'll put it this way. If it wasn't for CM Punk, Swerve would have the shortest title reign in AEW.
Yeah, what did he hold it for? Like maybe 4 months?
Yeah. I mean, but June? No, May.
Yeah. May sound
He had it May before fucking Double or Nothing.
Yeah, he won it before
Or was
Double
it
or
April?
Nothing. Yeah, so May, June, July.
So April to
August. Yeah.
So I mean, it's just I don't get what the point is, because now you had you had MJF who had that title. It felt like a year.
Mhm.
It felt like a
I
year.
think it was over a year. It was a little
And
over a year.
Joe had it for like four to 6 months. It's like every person who's a new champion, the reign is getting shorter.
Well, Joe held it for 5 months. He held it from
And then Swerve held it for 4 months.
yeah. Joe was from December to May.
And then Swerve is from May to August.
Yeah, and Brian is
And Brian is going to be even shorter because he planned on retiring.
Yeah.
So you see
yeah.
see where this is going? It's I mean, does that title mean anything? That's one. Two, I don't know. Swerve stock is down right now, and they need to bring it back up. I spent a whole half a year singing "Swerve when I drive," and that's "Swerve when I drive," just for his ass to
get beaten twice.
This.
Yeah.
Get this.
How many stars you give this?
Personally, a 2 is generous because, and it's not because of the wrestlers. It's just that no story to hook it in.
I'll go with 2.5. At least, I mean, the shock value at the end was not a positive thing, but it did.
Somewhere Magic Johnson's like, hold up, player.
Yeah.
But, I mean, that's what.
I mean, we didn't. We didn't really touch on him taking an unprotected chair shot to the head either, which is just disgusting as well. But yeah, it wasn't the best. It was nothing that it was not good. Let's say that.
It was dangerous.
Yes, it was very dangerous. I feel like this is over 4 for Dave. Maybe 4.25.
Wait, what? Say that again.
4 quarters.
Give me a definitive number, sir. You say what?
4 quarters and a half.
4.5 quarters?
Yes.
4 full quarters and a half a quarter is what you're saying.
Yes.
4.5 stars.
Four.
That's what he gave it. 4.5 stars.
Okay.
On the money. I think we need to do this for every AEW show.
I'd like to do it for the WWE ones as well.
I mean, does he even rate those?
Of course he does.
Okay, well, fucking let's do it.
He studies this shit.
Tune back in for the next guess that rating at Bad Blood. Yeah,
I think that's the next PLE.
Next PLE.
The show as a whole, thumbs up, thumbs down, thumbs in the middle.
I mean, thumbs in the middle is generous, and I will give it the middle because it had its stats. The Statlander got me, but it was also very predictable. And it's funny because this is a great PLE to juxtapose with Bash in Berlin because both of these felt like C-class cards.
But the crowd didn't make this up an A.
Bingo, the crowd didn't uplift it as much. Because this is where I have to give fans, us, the Barry Horowitz pat on the back. We make the match better because when the people in the arena are invested, it makes you want to be invested at home.
Very true. I give it a thumbs down.
Damn, he's like, that's true, thumbs down. Like, damn.
Yeah, I mean, there was nothing nothing stood out to me. Nothing made
I
me
mean,
say, "Oh, I would like to see this over again." Um,
you digested it like Triscuits. I'm just saying.
yes, but that be, and I wouldn't have had to do it that way if I was fully invested in the shows that they've been doing. But I'm not. So, until they give me for a solid 4 hours to sit my ass down and watch nothing but AEW, then I'll give them the benefit of the doubt. But I'm not. I'm not there.
All right.
All right. That will conclude our coverage of AEW, All In or All Out, and we are wrestling PWI's top 500 list. It came out a couple days ago. It's once again a 500 list, 500 names. I know Scooter is not envious that he's not here to actually do it because these always give him migraines. Um, but here we are. Um, the list is based off win-loss records, championships won, quality of competition, major feuds, prominence within a wrestler's promotion, and overall wrestling ability. The evaluation period is from August 1st, 2023 to July 1st, 2024. Alright, let's get into it. Number 1, Cody Rhodes, the American Nightmare. Number 2, Swerve Strickland. Number 3, Will Ospreay. Number 4, Seth freaking Rollins. And number 5, Tetsuya Naito. Naito's only as high as he is because they forgot him off the list last year, and this is the my bad.
Last year.
This is the my bad. Here, we'll give you this.
Yeah, we fucked up. My bad.
Yeah. So that's why
However,
Naito's 5. But Cody being 1, I feel like that's right, right? Kalika? Did I drop out or did he drop out? Alright, Cody Rhodes. Number 1, right?
Yeah, I can make an argument for Seth, but Seth got it one last year, so yeah, Cody won. They like, we can't give it to him 2 years in a row. Shit.
I mean, he started the year, the time period by beating Brock Lesnar. He won the tag team championships, the Royal Rumble, and he beat the most powerful WWE champion in the last, 30 years in Roman Reigns.
I think that is what puts. Well, I think what puts him over the top is the fact that even though he didn't have the title, he never waned in his position with the company.
Very true.
I think that was the biggest. I think that's the biggest caveat for Cody.
Yeah, I would say that for sure. Swerve Strickland has 2. I feel like you were right. You should maybe put Seth at 2 and Swerve maybe at 4, but I understand that they needed somebody from AEW to, do that, to be there. And Swerve was pretty hot last year.
Swerve was hot. I'm not going to say he wasn't. It's just that considering that they based this right when he was about 3 weeks before he lost the title. So his stock's going down.
Yeah.
Just just prepare for his stock next year to go down.
Right. True.
And plus, they got two AEW guys sandwiched in, Will Ospreay, which is funny because Will Ospreay got there in January, and he's won only the International House of Pancakes Championship.
But I mean, he wrestled a lot in Japan prior to that as well. So I mean, it wasn't he was on hiatus or anything.
I wouldn't say he's on hiatus. I was just saying like his appeal didn't fully reach until he got to AEW.
Right, true. I definitely think that he's way too high on this list for somebody that didn't win any type of major title.
Yeah, he won a secondary title. That's fucking.
Maybe a goldweight title.
I mean, Swerve being two, but I can see it being like, okay, he won the fucking AEW title, like
right.
First African American to win the title. I get it, right?
Right.
Ospreay's like, and that's why I would bump Seth up a bit because August 1st, 2023 to July 31st, 2024. And keep in mind, Seth wrestled both nights with a torn fucking meniscus, got the surgery, came back, got another fucking banger match. So he was involved in the CM Punk feud. So
okay, keep in mind,
that's what I say.
Seth started this at the beginning of this list as champion against Finn Balor, and then he went into the Nakamura rivalry, and then obviously everything at WrestleMania. So yeah, Seth was popping off.
That's what I said, Seth, and then gets the Drew match. Him and Drew having a little feud. Torn meniscus comes back just to get the rematch with him and gets flung into the CM Punk shit. He never waned, even with his fucking torn meniscus.
Yeah. And
I mean,
yeah,
he might be the best wrestler of our generation, as far from a workhorse perspective.
You might not be wrong about that. And we obviously know why Tetsuya Naito so high.
Payback!
Yeah.
That's the ultimate my bad. My bad, Naito. Let's go throw you at 5. Because I love Naito. He shouldn't be above a couple of the people that he's above.
And let's talk
and
about
we'll get to that.
We got number 6, Damian Priest. Number 7, MJF. Number 8, Jon Moxley. Number 9, Gunther. And number 10, Mystico. Who the fuck did Mystico fuck to get number 10 on this list?
I mean, he was big down here in this AAA circuit. Don't get it twisted. As a matter of fact, I think he was the champion until Nick Nemeth beat him. But my biggest concern is Gunther
at 9.
At 9. If I had it, it would be Rhodes, Rollins, Swerve, Gunther, and then you can do whatever. But Gunther was the longest reigning Intercontinental Champion at that time. Didn't lose the belt until WrestleMania 40. Took a couple weeks off, came back, won King of the Ring, and was slated actually 2 days after this, 3 days after this, became world champion.
Yeah. And he only lost one match in that whole entire part.
And that's why I think he should be top 5, just because on the win-loss record alone. And it ain't like he wrestled some heavy hitters.
I understand Jon Moxley won the world title, IWGP title, but does he really deserve number 8? I mean, I don't think he had like a memorable match this year.
During that time period, yeah, because the one with Naito was lackluster, the rematch.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, Moxley could easily be 10 to me. Honestly, when we go through this list, I can tell you who should be 10. Uso not being in 10 is bananas. Fucking bananas.
You're talking about Jay Uso.
Because Jay Uso. Because keep in mind, August, he was fighting Roman for the title.
Yes, but he also, his biggest win that year was left off because it happened in July, actually beating Roman.
Yes. What was it?
Yeah.
Money in the Bank was in July. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, pinning Roman. And not to mention his prominence has been the people ride with him. Say what you will, they riding with him.
I feel like Damian Priest is pretty good. I don't. 6 is solid. Maybe he should have been a little higher, but lower on the list. But MJF,
It's solid for him because of the fact that he was a tag champion during that time frame.
True. And money.
He still had the money and the Money in the Bank. Then he won the title.
Yeah.
And 3 days later, he lost the title. So he's above Gunther. And Gunther only lost one match.
Correct.
Let's keep that. So that's what's kind of throwing me off. Like the guy that he beat, the guy that's only had one loss and was just murdering anyone in his way, is below the guy who's lost several matches. Maybe not gotten pinned, but that Money in the Bank and the cash in, I guess, trumps it.
Yeah. MJF. I mean, yes, when this period started, he was AEW champion for another August, September, October, November, December.
About 6 months.
Another 4 months. Let's be nice.
Was it 4 months?
Yeah, he lost it in December. So
December to Joe. Yeah.
Yeah, so like 4 months he held it. From the 4 months that he wasn't there, the 4 months that he was there, he didn't come back until what, June?
Double or nothing.
Yeah, so he was gone for 6 months. So
the time he came back, he beat Will Ospreay.
And he won a title.
Mm-hmm.
I guess so. Alright, number 11, Samoa Joe. Number 12, Sami Zayn. 13, Drew McIntyre. 14, Bryan Danielson. 15, Moose. 16, Sonata. 17, Jey Uso. 18, El Hijo del Vikingo. 19, Mustafa Ali. The Circle of Life. Dun. Number 20, Eddie Kingston. I kind of feel like Joe is that's a pretty good spot for him. Sami Zayn. Honestly, I don't have a lot of issues with this. Kaliko? I mean, you already said Jey Uso.
Jay for me, I could make an argument for Ali. I damn sure could make an argument for Kingston because he was a double champion. For Ali to be higher and Kingston to be higher, because keep in mind Kingston had both titles at that time. He was the
Ring
New
of Honor.
Japan.
Yeah.
He Damn, that nigga had 3 belts at one point. So shit, like,
Yeah.
like, so he could be higher. Ali being an indie person, I could make the argument for him to be higher. Especially considering he bet on himself, and for him to be this high, it's fucking awesome.
True.
Jay should be a lot higher. Because even though the losses were there, his prominence was shit. Tag champion, had a constant feud with the Judgment Day. Had the match with his. I think what killed him was the lackluster match with his brother, but other than that, his prominence was still there.
I can only really, like, in good conscience, say that Jay could be bumped up to maybe 13, if I'm being honest.
I make the argument for 11, but I mean,
well, then you would be replacing Sami Zayn.
But Sami Zayn, other than winning the IC title, Drew should. I can make the argument Drew higher than Sami.
I mean, true, but a lot of Drew's matches he lost. I mean, yes, he won the championship, but it was only for like 5 minutes.
I'm looking at it from that part I get. His prominence though, because he was like the hottest motherfucker on Twitter for a hot minute. He still is. Well, the level of pettiness he showed in his feuds knew no end. And not to mention, he did beat Seth at Mania, whether it was for 5 minutes. And yeah, I can make the argument.
Well,
I can make the argument. And then this is during the time he won Money in the Bank. Unsuccessful cash in because Punk fucked him, but yeah.
Well, unfortunately, Twitter game is not one of the factors keyed into this list.
Hey, Twitter game, and I'll put it this way: when that man looked at me and said, "I'm justified," I just said, "Say less, sir." say, bet. That's it. Bet.
All right.
Sonata, yeah, nah, just
he's lucky to be on the
list. He
list.
could be lower. Yeah, he's lucky to be top 20.
Yeah.
And I love Sonata. Don't get it twisted. He's lucky to be top 20. Because considering who's below it, boy.
Yeah.
Boy.
Number 21, Kazuchika Okaya. 22, Nick Namek. 23, Alex Smelly. 24, Freshly Pooped, Orange Cassidy. Number 25, Alex Kane. Congratulations, Alex. Number 25.
I know. That man putting in work out there. Let's go. He's above Edge. Motherfucker, yeah. Like, what?
26.
He's above LA Knight. You see the names on that list? Man, Alex, you going places on me.
Hell yeah.
You're the one of the people we can say, remember when we interviewed Alex Kane?
Number 26, Angle. 27, La Knight. Number 28, Trick Williams. 29, Christian Cage Match. And number 30, Ija Dragunov. I don't necessarily have a problem with this.
I do.
Yeah?
I do. Man, Okada's fallen, homie. He's broken. But that's a whole other thing.
That's on him. That's his fault.
that is his fault. I think I could put Cassidy down and stop him at 29. I could bump everyone else up. I could bump Trick to switch with Cassidy.
I could see that. But how many? Let me ask you this: how many matches did Trick Williams win in this time period, and how many matches did Orange Cassidy win?
2023. This was during the time he was in probably the hottest NXT feud with Carmelo, which he's nowhere near to be found on this list. So, not yet anyway. So Melo Hayes beats Dragunov to be the NXT champion. Just lost it, like literally a couple months ago.
But I mean, Orange Cassidy has maybe 15 matches a week, and he wins all of them. So
who gives a shit? Who gives a shit? LA Knight had 15 matches a week and won them.
I don't personally give a shit, but in the reasoning of this this list, wins and losses matter, and Orange Cassidy
by that point
has the most wins, unfortunately.
Then by that mark, if wins and losses matter, Logan Paul should be higher than Orange Cassidy.
Well, Logan Paul didn't have as many matches as Orange Cassidy.
But he's only lost one. I
mean, with that logic, Gunter should have been number one.
Oh, no, during this time period, he only lost. Yeah, during this time period, he only lost one, which was Cody.
No.
Cody in the Chamber.
Yeah. Number 31,
2.
Mark Briscoe. Number 32,
okay.
Katsuhiko Nakajima. Good for you.
Katsuhiko. I like it.
Number 33, Zack Sabre Jr.
Look at 50-50. Not at 50. 50-50, not at 50.
34, Speedball Mike Bailey. 35, if you didn't know, it's Kano. 36, Mascara Dora the Explorer. 37, Logan Paul. 38, Michael. Cool. That's where you say bless me.
Bless you.
Number 39, Cool. And number 40, EC3. I think EC3 is currently the NWA champion, so good on him for getting into the top 50, because that means literally nothing at this point.
I mean, that means he's higher than... Okay, now they tripping.
Okay.
All right.
Elaborate.
All right. I'm looking at this list. I'm not going to give this list away, but they tripping.
Would you like to comment on 31 to 40?
31 to 40, I will say it'll work. I think Logan Paul should be a little higher. I'd probably put him 34.
So like 3 more spots.
I could argue for 32, but I wouldn't. Zack Sabre Jr. had a great year, not bad, being 50-50.
Of course.
EC3 is the reigning champion. I would have thought he would have been a little higher. But other than that, you just move some stuff around. And you know what? I just want to say this. For the most part, I've been having beef with PWI. It's kind of been known that we have this love-hate relationship. The top 10, especially with the top 10, I give them a golf clap this year.
I mean, that's a lot coming from you because before we even came on the air, you were like, "Oh, this doesn't look too bad. This looks pretty good." And then the more you were reading it, you were like, "Okay, we need to talk about this. We need to get
Yeah,
into it."
no shit. I'm looking like. Wait till we get to the 40s. Just keep going.
41, Yuma Azaria. 42, Pornstas Page. 43, Josh Alexander. 44, Satoshi Kojima. 45, Rey Mysterio. He kills motherfuckers.
Thank you. Rey
46,
Mysterio, 45. What the fuck?
46, Hiromu Takahashi. 47, Kaito Kiyomiya. 48, Carmella Hayes. 49, David Finley. And number 50, Hijo del Dr. Wagner. I'm assuming this has something to do with Carmelo Hayes, no?
I mean, below Rey Mysterio? What primary win Rey Mysterio had?
I mean, he started the time period with the United States Championship.
And been getting his ass darted by goddamn everybody.
True. But I mean, he is Rey Mysterio.
Well, why not we just put Dr. Death Steve Williams in the countdown then, sir? Let's just go ahead, go ahead and throw Terry Funk in this bitch. Like, if I hate saying this word because I want this word to go away, this phrase to go away. It's giving lifetime achievement, and that's no disrespect to Ray, but that's what it's giving.
Fair enough. Alright, 51, speak his name, he shall appear, Joe Henry. So
blasphemy! Blasphemy me.
I will say this. He's just been popping off this year. So maybe we'll...
That's my part. That's the point. He popped off, man. Hey, all right. Blasphemy. But keep going.
Number 52, Braun Breaker.
Another one, blasphemy.
53, Saba Odi Acapelico. 50.
Who?
Saba Odi Acapelico.
Okay, whatever.
54, Max the Impaler. 55, Randy Orton. 56, AJ Styles. 57, Claudio Ida Cannoli. 58, Kevin Owens. 59, Jack Perry the Platypus. Number 60, El Desperado. 61, Atlantis Morissette Jr. 62, Rocky Mero.
He's still wrestling?
Yeah, of course Rocky still wrestles. Yeah.
That fucker's still wrestling? Okay. Alright.
63, Rick Lachey. 64, Blake Christian cage match. 65, Kyle Flatulence. 66, Solo Coca-Cola. 67, Colt Kutska takes shitter. 68, Finn Balor. 69, Dirty Dominic Mysterio. Yeah,
they did that on purpose. That was because he should be higher. They put him there for a reason. I know why. They're nasty motherfuckers. Anyways, he should be higher.
He is Dirty Dominic, so yeah.
But I mean, he should be higher on that list, though.
I think he's in the position that he
wants. Him and Finn. I think Judgment Day members should be a little higher on that list. Just me thinking.
70, Chris Sabin. 71, Yoda Tsuji. 72, Santa Escobar. 73, Swords D. 74, Louis Monty. 75, Ethan Page. 76, Octagon Jr. 77, Matt Cardona. 78, Jake Lee. 79, Mance Warner. 80, Roderick Strong. 81, Hiroshi Tanahashi. He's lucky to break the 100. If I'm being honest.
Really?
Yeah. What has Hiroshi Tanahashi done in the last year?
He beat 50-50.
I mean, true, but it's 50-50. 82 Go Suzaki. 83 Hook. 84 Yuki Aneno. 85 Shingo Takagi. 86 Third Wheeler Yuta. 87 Daniel Garcia. 88 Mao. 89 Chad Gable Stevenson. 90 NDA is Jericho. 91 Yamato.
NDA is Jericho.
92 Alex Price. 93 Chris Brooks. 94 Jacob Fatu.
He should be higher. His Terminator ass. He should be higher.
I mean, we'll see where he is next year, 100%.
If he isn't top 40 next year, it's a crime. Anyway.
I feel like you're being generous. I mean, top 20, honestly.
Ooh, top 20.
95 G-Von Evans. 96 Matt Riddle. 97 Debbie Allen. 98 Shota Umino. 99 Jessica Troy. 100 Hayata. 101 Steve Macklin. 102 Kento Harara. Kento, hi, how are you? That's right. 103 So 104 Dega. 105 Colby Carino.
Related to Steve?
His son. 106 Rina Yamashita. My better. 107 Sean Skywalker. 108 Cheerio. There we go. Cheerio.
Hey, Chichero.
Yeah,
Hey, Chichero.
109
Hey,
Shinsuke
Chichero.
Nakamura. 110 Jay White. 111 Kid Lycos. 112 The Bastard Park. 113 Lawrence Roman. 114 Ace Austin. 115 One Called Manders. 116 Bandit Keith. 117 Lee Moriarty. 118 Masha Slamovic. Congratulations, Masha, friend of the show.
Which is weird that she made the top 500.
I mean, it speaks to how awesome she is.
True, which, I mean, like, man, where the fuck is... Okay, never mind.
Number 119, Ricky Shane Page. 120, Ben K. Yeah. 121, Jeff Corn on the Cob. 122, Effie This Shit. 123, Luke Bryan Jacobs. 124, Adam Damian Priest. 125, Hiroki Got to Go. 126, Flop Dollar. How the fuck did Flop Dollar get on this list?
I knew you was gonna say that.
Like I spent more time on the toilet than he's been in the ring.
Wasn't he a champion?
If true, then TNA has literally gone down the toilet.
He was the TNT Digital Media Champion.
Well, fuck TNA.
And hey, man, he played for the Redskins. Didn't even know. What a bitch.
What does that have to do with anything?
And Tampa Bay. I mean, that just tells you. I mean, it depends because if you It depends on the position. If he was like just hear me out. Just him. See, he played nose tackle. That explains everything.
Okay.
Because
120.
nose tackle is
Yeah.
all power, no athleticism. I mean athleticism, but no nimbleness. Rather.
127 Titan. 128 Calvin Tankman. 129 Laredo Kid. 130 Frankie Kazarian. 131.
He wrestled this year?
Yeah. Minoru Suzuki. 132 Jake Parnell. 133 Jordan Oliver.
Right.
134 Noam Dar. 135 Ray Phoenix. 136 Ricky Knight Jr. 137 Yuma Ayagaki. 138 Akira. 139 Megan Rain. 140.
I'm trying to figure out.
Yeah.
Now that's throwing me off.
Because there's women?
I'm not. It's throwing me off because if they're there, where is the others?
Well, maybe we'll get there. 140 Marcus Maddox.
Bullshit, because if Masha Slamovich is the highest rated woman, I'd be goddamn.
141 Myron Reed. 142 Tem Plato. 143 Yuya Uemura. 144 Big Bronson Reed. 145 Igalo Blanc. 146 Mike Santana. 147 Jake something.
Jake something.
148 Chris Bay.
Hey, baby. Chris, hey, baby.
149 Marco Estrada. 150 Billy Starks. Congratulations, Billy.
This is what's confusing me.
Because
it's confusing me, sir.
151 Kevin Blackwood.
Love Billy, but where's Bailey?
152 Darius Ruckert Carter. 153 Lee Johnson. 154 Alexander Hammerstone. 155 Kenta. 156 June Santa. 157 Delta. 158 Roberts Crisco. 159 Yuya Oak. 160 Rush. 161 Adam Brooks. 162 Rising Hayato. Maybe he'll rise to the top next year. 163 Allen Angels. 164 Hoodfoot. 165 Joey Nutella. 166
Joey Janela, look at him.
166 Joe Alonzo. 167 Charlie Dempsey. Related to Patrick Dempsey. 168 Kyle. 169 Robbie Eagles. 170 Titus Alexander. 171 Dalton Castle. 172 Sheamus.
No boys.
You're standard corrected. 173 Starboy Charlie. 174 Shane Taylor. 175 Spike Trivet. 176 Dookie. 177 Star Jr. 178 Tomohiro Ishii.
Jesus, they got him well.
That's all the AEW matches he's had. 179 Benjamin Toll. 180 Leon Slater. 181 Dijak, 180,
Mm.
182 Ren Narita, 183 Royce Isaac, 184 Madoka Kikakuka, 185, I'm so getting canceled, 185 Jake Chris, 180, 185 was Jake Chris, 186 is Powerhouse Hot Snops,
Mm.
187 John Wayne Murdoch, 188 Angel Di Oreo, 189 El Phantasmo, 190 Nick Wayne, or Damian Wayne as I call him, 191 Stephen Wolf, 192 Kevin Koo, 193 Crazy White Guy, 194 Gabe Kidd,
Gringo Loco for those who don't.
195 Pete Dune, 196 Andrade Del Idaho, 197 Bobby Lashley, 198 Pico, 199 Peter Tai Hananani, 200 C Hero Erie, 201 Matt Tremont, 202 Tony D'Angelo De Niro, 20
Damn, he's 200?
yeah, he does
Mafia?
203 Danhausen. What the fuck did Danhausen do? Did Danhausen wrestles?
206 is gonna get you, but 203, yeah, I mean he was MIA.
I mean, yeah, he won the GCW title, but it was only for a couple minutes. 204 Trey Miguel, 205 Davey Vega, 206 QT Marshall. I mean, he didn't wrestle either, but okay.
I mean he wrestled in Mexico.
I guess.
Won a title or two.
207 Volador Jr., 208 Wesley. I feel like Wesley could have been a lot higher than this.
Considering he was the North American champion during this time, yeah.
Right. 209 Jack Jeter, 210 Naruki Doi, 211 Dom Latimore, 212 Tyler Bate, 213 Timothy Thatcher, 214 Tate Mayfair's. I go to their website all the time.
Mayfair, you got just what I need.
215 Richard Holiday and Holiday. 216.
Oh, I thought you were going to Madonna route. Holiday, celebrate.
I think we could get sued for that. So 216 Ludwig Kaiser Permanente role.
Kaiser Permanente.
217 Joseph French Jr. 218 Ultimo Guerrero. 219 Dragon Lee. 220 Hanare. 220.
I'm not even gonna lie. Before you get to 221, I thought 218 said Ultimo Dragon. I was.
Yeah, he still wrestles. I could see it.
I know. That's what I'm like.
Participation trophy.
You know, hey.
221 Katsuri Shibata Bread. 222 Charlie Evans. 220C Cock Navarro. 224 The Beast Mortos. 225 Ray Sato. 226 Man Like Dresses. 227 Eric Young. 228 Dan Tamura. 229 Tamatonga.
Which is low.
I think they got Tamura confused with Tonga, and that's why he got higher. 230 Hayato Tamura. Okay, now they're just lumping people with the same name in.
Tamura Tama.
231 Ichiban. 232 Slacks. 230 233 John Olmos. How did he fucking say it? Edward James Olmos. 234 Yo.
I guess he was Marty
235
Jannetty.
Dick Don't Call Me Stu Grayson. 236 Pentagon Jr. How did Ray Phoenix get so high, but Penta's so low?
And Ray wasn't he hurt?
You got me. 237 Psycho Clown.
Psycho Clown.
238 El Linda Man.
El Linda.
239 Kyle O'Reilly Auto Parts. 240 Ishin. 231 Swami. 242 Drillo Baloney. 243 Brian, not Kristen Cage. 244 Endino. 245 Alley Catch. 240
Alley Catch. It's not like Alley Cat.
It's Catch now. She changed it.
Oh gosh. Now I'm telling, these are confusing me.
Because the names have changed, or because I'm fucking them up so badly?
Well, you're fucking them up on purpose. I kind of just gave up on that part. But I'm just saying they got like, not saying that these ladies are not deserving, but I would have saw a lot more other. Because if this was based on prominence and story and major.
You know what it could be a part of it is a lot of these women do intergender matches, so they wrestle.
Now that would make more sense.
Yeah.
I mean, Marsha's slamming dudes.
I mean, she's been smashing them for a very long time, so yeah.
So should I just call her Masha slamming dudes instead of Slamovich?
If you say that in front of her, you might get slammed yourself, but, you know, to each their own.
Hey, that's fine. She'll slam me anyway.
246, Wardlow. 247, Hologram. Man, he's been there like for a cup of coffee, and he's already 247. Fuck me.
Ooh, 247. Wardlow, yeah.
No, I'm talking about Hologram.
Oh, holograms, yeah. Hey, they must think highly.
248, Jordan Cruz. 249, ATM Azul. 250, Kushida. 251, Darian Bankston. 252, Matt Mauskowski. I completely fucked that up, even for my standards.
Yes.
253, Barbaro Carbonaro. Yeah, that's as good as that's gonna get. 254, Evil. 255, Ricky Stout. 256, Eddie Edwards. 257, Austin Theory. 258, Brendan Cork. 259, Johnny Gargano. 260, Eel O'Neill. 261,
Eel O'Neill.
Grayson Waller. 262, Rich Swann. Can you handle this? 263, Masito Tanaka. 264, Leo Russ. 265, Tomato Ciampa. 266, Eddie Dennis. 267, Tui Ishimori. Yeah. 268, Sammy G. 269, Junior Benoit. 270, Jordan Blade. 271, Snarls Garvin. 272, The Great Khali. 273, Connor Mills.
Wait a minute, who did you say?
The Great Khali.
Great old Khan. Okay, boy, don't play me. I'm like, wait a minute, that motherfucker still wrestling?
I'm listen. Okay,
Shit.
I'm making sure you're listening. Uh,
Like, what?
did I say Connor Mills? Yes. Kevin, 274, Kevin Knight. 275, Lance Archer. 276, Jonathan Gresham. He was like in the top 20 a couple years. How the
Mm,
mighty have fallen. Um,
yeah.
277, Strong Machine J. 278, Cole Roderick. Um, 279, Lavanel. 280, Commander. 281, The Miz. 282, Kofi Kingston. 283,
Coffee Kingston.
Zachary
Jesus.
Wentz. 284, Bad Dude Tito. 285, Sammy Callahan. 286, Danny Lime. 287, Hikaleo. 288, Potato de Oreo. 289, Progway. 290, TJP. 291, Jason Hotch. 292, Axel Tischer. 283, Guerrero Maya. 284, Mike DeVanco.
Mm-hmm.
295, Tom Lawler. 296, Sergio Tantani Bani. 297, Alice Inc. 298, Trent Seven. 299, Xavier Woods. 300, Jack Vaughn. 301, Desmond Cole. 302, Intergalactico 5, Estrada. Fuck me. What are these names? 303, Isaiah Browner. 304, Neon. 304,
Neon.
305, Hikaru Sato. 306,
Right.
Duke Hudson. 307, Rhino. Is that all Rhino?
Now is that the Rhino we know?
I mean, I could be just like seeing spots at this point. It could be Rio, but I don't think it's her. I think it's
Not Rio.
yeah. 308, Storm Grayson. 209, Slice Boogie. 310, Malcolm Monroe XIII. 311, Suji Akawaka Waka Haka. 312, Karrion Cross. 313, Flip Gordon. 314, Kota Suki Fuka. 315, Cody Chung. 316, Channing Thomas. 317, Luchasaurus. 318, Selton Benjamin. 319, Jimmy Lloyd. 320, Mims. 321, Sam Adonis. 322, Euphoria. 323, The Tuck Man. The Tuck Man? Yeah. 324, Lance Anoia. 325, Dark Sheik. 326, Francisco Akira. 327, Jack Cartwheel. 328, Paris de Silva. 329, Gelatinous Del Mar. 330, Esfingo.
These names are off the wall.
And to be honest, I'm not that far off. 331, Trent Beretta.
How he fell.
Yeah. 332, Evan Rivers. 333, Evan Azaman. 334, Tuxedo Jr. 335, Sonic. 336, Talkin. 337, Will All Day. Okay. 338, Mung J. Lee. 339, Zilla Vatu. 340, Jimmy Townsend.
Them Fatu's making it, man.
341 Jack Morrison. 342 Jack Braxton. No, Ben Braxton. 343 Jai Jewel. 344 Dirty Dingo. 345 John Hawking. 346 Ninja Mac. 3
Ninja Mac. I like that. Ninja Mac.
347 Kenny K. 348 Chris Adonis. 349 Orez. 350 Mad Dog Connolly. 351 Razi Desi. 352 Ricky Starks. Damn, 352.
Yeah.
But I mean, he hasn't wrestled a lot, so.
Yeah, he has.
353 Drillistico. 354 Kerry Morton. 355 Cha Cha Charlie. 356 Caveman Ugh. 357 Oleg Bolton. 358 Eddie Dorp. 359 Devon Monroe. 360 Shane Morsaw. 361 Milo. 362 Pretty Boy Smooth. 363 Psycho Mike.
I know.
Finally gained
Jeez.
the credit he deserves.
For wrestling that rock.
Yes. 364 Manny Forno. 365 Joshua Bishop. 366 Josh Woods. 367 Fuminori Abe. 368 Lexus King. 369 Clark Connors. 370 Misa Kitamiya. 371 Derek Dillinger. I know that's the Derek I know. 372.
I thought that was Daz Dillinger, the rapper. But anyway.
372 Sunny Kiss. 373 Colin Newman. 374 Malibu Soya. 375 Bobby Beverly. 376 Vinny Massico. 377 Dante Chen. 378 Jay Bucci. 379 Vito Fratatelli. Friend of the show, congratulations. You could catch our interview with him in the archives. 380 London Hale. 381 Evil Uno. 380,
Evil Uno.
382
AEW guy. Evil Uno.
Yep. 382 Rico Gonzalez. 383 Zoe Segal. Friend of the show, congratulations, Zoe. You could check our interview with Joey in the archives. 384 Alex Colin. 385 Jamison Shock. 389 El Hijo de Piranha Morgan. 387 Angelico. 388 Xavient. 389 Travis Williams. 390 Ryan Clancy. 391 Silas Mason. Oh, Silas Mason. Congratulations, Silas. Friend of the show. Check out the interview in the archives. 392 Clint Margarita. 393 Dustin Rhodes. 394 Barrett Brown. 395 Chris Bezo. 396 Microsoft. 397 Matthew Justice. 398 Judas Icarus. 399 Yuaki Das Inamura. Yeah. 400 Soil Rock. 401 Ray Gonzalez. 304 Big Fudge. 303 Sam Holiday. Celebrate. There you go.
Oh, we're at the 400s.
Yeah. Only 100 more to go. 404.
I know you said 304. That's what
Oh,
took me.
fuck me. Yeah. Yeah, I'm
See,
really, I'm like seeing
getting my
spots at this
drink.
point.
Getting my drink ready because it's almost over.
404, Travis Toxic. 405,
ATL.
Alpha Zoe. 406, Sydney Akin. 407, Zach Patterson. 408, Cheeseburger. 408,
Cheeseburger, man. What the fuck does he need to do?
maybe get a slice of cheese.
I feel like he's been stuck in that 300 to 400 purgatory for a hot minute.
I mean, nobody's looking to put a world title on Cheeseburger at this point.
I mean, but a world title ain't on half of these motherfuckers.
409, Neil Diamond Cutter. 410,
Oy.
Vinny Pacifico. 411, High End. 412, Journey Fatu. 413,
Told you, man. Them Samoans coming.
Will Colitis. 414, Madman Fulton. 415, Trey Lamar. 416, Sean Spears. 417, Rob Racky. 418, O'Shea Edwards. 419, Luke Curtis. The coveted 420 spot, Danny Demento.
What? No riddle? Anyways.
421, Goldie. 422, Robbie X.
4X.
423, Jaden Newman. 424, Ivor. 425, Willie Mack.
Man, I thought he'd be higher.
426, MV Young. 427, Exodus Prime. That's the son
Optimus
of Optimus Prime.
Yes.
428, Billy Dixon. 429, Facade. 430, GPS.
Facade.
431, Jody Dredd.
Wait a minute. 430's GPA?
Yeah,
Does that mean like grade point average?
clearly. They just sneak names on here and pretend like nobody will notice. Like who's stupid enough to read the whole fucking list? Well, guess what?
We are.
Yeah.
We are. We're the fuckers going over every. We're the Santa Claus for the PWI. We check the list.
Yeah.
Make it the list and checking it twice.
We're not checking it twice. I'm not reading this over again. Yeah,
I thought you were in a flow.
If you
You're in a
want
flow.
to read it over again, I will gladly listen, but I will gladly record it, but I will not be reading this list again.
I'm just going to read the people we interviewed and call it a day.
431, Jody Dredd. 432, Aaron Rourke. 433, Sandra Moan. 334, Rhino. I have no idea at this point. 435,
Wait a minute, what?
Yeah.
Wait. There's 2 rhinos on this list?
Clearly, yes.
307 and 434. PWI, you got some shit. You got some explaining, todo.
He's so fucking good, he made it on the list twice.
I mean, but Naito couldn't even make it last year. And they finally got a motherfucker on this bitch twice.
435, Fogo del Sol. 430, that was 435. 436, Frontman Jan. 437, Rolity. 438, Peter Olizander. Congratulations, Peter. Friend of the show. Check out the interview in the archives. 439, Brian Johnson. 440, Quiet Storm. 441, Tristan Archer. 442, Khan. 443, Bam Sullivan. 444, Austin's, no, not Austin. Yeah, Austin Starr. It is what it is. 445, Hardin Bauer.
Oh, I thought this said hard blower. Jesus Christ. Jesus Christ, help me, Lord Jesus.
446.
Put the drink down, Kaliko. Put the drink down.
No, keep drinking it up. Drink it up. We need this. 440.
Oh, I'm about to stop you in about 3 minutes. Just keep going.
446, Gary J. Congratulations, Jerry. Friend of the show. Cuts the interview in the archives. 447, Aaron Solo. 448, Mikey Montgomery. 449, Killian Murphy. 450, Renzo Rose. 451, Austin Luke. 452, Tony Deppen. 453, Baron Corbin. 450.
Stop. What the fuck? AJ Francis is above Baron Corbin. I've seen a lot now.
Yeah. 454, Laney Luck. 455, Eli Everfly.
Ooh, that's a nice name.
Yeah.
Eli Everfly for a white guy.
456, Maki Atoy. 457, Charles Manson. 458, Robert Anthony. 459, Olka Zaki. 460, Grimm. 461, Dmitry Alexandrov.
I thought that was the boxer.
You got me.
Because there is a boxer named Dmitry Alexander. I was like, wait a minute, what?
462. 462.
WBC welterweight champion on the PWI fucking 500. Like, what the fuck is going?
Because they're slipping these names in, so we don't, because they think we don't notice and that we're not reading them. 462, Vipress. 463, Sif Penta. 464, Logan Knight. 465, MSG. 466, Christian Rose.
You mean LSG, and that's Levert, Sweat, and Gill. So Eddie Levert, Keith Sweat, and Johnny Gill. My body all over your body, baby. See, yeah. It's a trio. That's a trio group.
467, Fast Smoking Webster. 468, Griffin McCoy. Congratulations to Griffin, friend of the show. Check out the interview.
Yeah, Griffin, man. Getting in there.
469, Solomon Tapu. 470, Amira Lukens. 471, Danny Luna. 472, Johnny TV. 473, Razit Razoo. 474, Dragon Daya. 475, Imogen Jane. 476, Jordan Breaks. 477, Sierra. 478, Rip Bison, friend of the show. Congratulations. Catch the interview in the archives. 479, Tony Nese. 480, Vaughn Vertigo. Congratulations, Vaughn, friend of the show. Catch the interview.
Oh yeah, Vaughn Vertigo, man, there.
481, Epsilipsis Jr. 482, Joey Avalon. 483, Aiden Prince. 484, Antonio Voorhees. 485, Mike Skyro. 486, Alexia Nicole. Congratulations, Alexia. Interview in the archives. 487, Slim J. 488, Miles Millennium. 489, Cody Manhorn. 490, Noah Niles. 491, Lucas DeSangro. 492, Isaiah Wolf. 493, Rohan Raza. 494, Christoria. 495, TJ Skies. 496, Smiley. 497, Anakin Murphy. Congratulations, Anakin. Interview in the archives. 498, Santana Jackson. 499, Travis Lee. And 500, is for the memes.
Memes.
Memes, yes.
Memes.
Memes.
Well, hot diggity damn.
Anything you'd like to add before we get out of here? And I burned my eyes out.
This list, to all the other wrestlers that didn't make this list, it's not the end of the world. Congrats to those who made the list, especially the ones we interviewed, because that gives us street cred, yo.
Oh yeah.
They be acting like we just you be sending them emails and y'all be acting like we ain't nobody. We just be like, we interviewed Alex Kane, number 25, PWI, bitch.
Motherfucker.
Motherfucker. We interviewed Billy Starks, 151.
Twice.
And you know what's funny? She said she wasn't gonna go to prom. The motherfucker went to prom. I knew she was going to prom.
Yep.
Call that shit, nigga. I ain't stupid. Anyway.
You want to talk about
Congrats.
one that's not on this list that speaks volumes? Jimmy Uso.
Jimmy Uso?
Yeah. Seems like we have the same name in mind.
That name, Jimmy Uso. What's confusing me is the women. I'm not saying that the women don't deserve to be on there. I just want to know, because Billy Starks, I wouldn't think she would be known as like an intergender wrestler.
Oh yeah, she has.
I mean, she has, but I'm not saying that's like not her primary thing.
True.
So that's why it's confusing to me. If this was 500 men and women, then incorporate all, not just some. Not saying that, but that's just. I mean, that's a PWI thing, not a wrestling thing, a wrestler thing.
I just wonder when we start calling Jimmy Janetti.
Jimmy's not Janetti. Jimmy's playing that injury. I mean, he only got his ass smoked by Fatu. Or was it Tonga?
It was Tama. He hasn't been there since.
See, that's what I'm telling you. Like, but, I mean.
Yeah. All right. That will conclude our coverage of the PWI list. And
Not true. What do you mean? Because you forgot. Now we are wrestling with the 2024 Top 10 PWI color commentators.
Fuck you. Fuck you.
Well, it's only 10. Shit, it's only 10.
I don't even have the list in front of me.
I have the list.
All right.
So, coming in at number 10, Matt Menard.
Oh, fuck. How the fuck did he's not even a commentator.
I'm just... Hey, man, I didn't make the rules. I'm just here. So I'll get 5.
Me and Scooter could have been on this list.
Number 9, Vita Scott. Congratulations, Vita Scott.
Okay, so Vita's not that bad on commentary.
Number 8, Hugo Savinovich.
Alright, I think that.
At number 7, Booker T. Sucker.
I don't know how I feel about heel Booker T in 2024, but yeah, I could dig it.
At number 6, Pat McAfee.
Number 6? Really?
At number 5, Taz.
Okay. I like that.
At number 4, Matthew Rehwoldt.
I have no idea who that is.
I have no idea either. Number 3, Caprice Coleman.
Okay, that's actually pretty good because he is a really good commentator.
At number 2, I've got some bad news, Wade Barrett.
Hell yeah. If you're gonna say number 1 is sock face, then we'll just stop this right here.
And the number 1 PWI color commentator, Nigel McGuinness.
Really?
Really?
Okay. This sounded like more like just commentators you could name rather than of commentators on their actual ability.
That is not true, because you know who's missing on this list?
Michael Cole?
Corey Graves.
I mean, yeah, and I mean, literally anybody from TNA,
Not named Matthew Riddle.
yes.
Fuck it, hey. See?
Yeah.
You're not the only one that can go down the list, but my list is only 10%,
Motherfucker.
1%. Yeah, my list is only 1% of your whole list, but yeah, you get it.
I did
You get it.
500 names. You listed 10. Fuck you.
I just said I could do a list. I didn't say that my list was better than your list. See, I got asthma. I can't be spitting out 500 names like that. Fucking 500 names. That sounds like a fucking high school graduation. Like you got doing a commencement at college and shit. Like, goddamn, man.
Like, I would be, like, fantastic, like, when they announced the countries in the Olympics. America, Australia, Russia, Paraguay, New Zealand. Yeah, I could do that.
Nigeria.
Djibouti.
See that? Djibouti. See, there you go. You got it. You get there. But see, you ain't the only one that can do a list. My list is only,
Yeah.
based on my asthma, I can only do like 10. We let you do 500. You a young buck. You should be able to rattle off 500 names.
That will conclude this episode. Thank you so much for listening. If you like what we're doing, please like, subscribe, comment, both on YouTube and Castbox. This was sponsored by Rogue Energy and Player One Coffee. Join us this Tuesday as we interview Arthur, and this Wednesday as we interview Zoe Cannon. Join us every Tuesday and Wednesday for new incredible interviews. Follow the show at Wrestling with E, both on X, Twitter, and Instagram for information on who we're interviewing, when we're interviewing them, links to those interviews, and so much more. Follow me personally at JamesJ993. Where can you find Kaliko?
Oh, man. I am Kaliko. 10 names. Can't wait till I get to the top 10 tag teams. Man, it's going to be quick.
It's a lot longer list than you know that.
I mean, was 50?
They do 150 tag teams.
I mean, 150, that ain't bad. I mean, I'll do, like, what, the women?
The women is 200 or 250.
Is it 250?
Yeah. It's either 200 or 250.
Hey, we about to figure that out. We'll build that plane as we fly it. But right now, 10 is where it's at.
For Kaliko Yachts and Scooter Dust, I'm James Shea, and this has been Wrestling with Entertainment.
Man, am I winded, dog. Oof.
I hate you so much.
Hey, folks, this is the Colossal Mike Law, and you are listening to Wrestling with Entertainment. Enjoy the show. Support these guys. We appreciate it very much. We'll see you at ringside.